Ladies and gentlemen, alas, that may be stretching things a bit. But there's something I must tell you, and I hope it will compel you, because your attitudes got me in a snit. To limit me is a blunder. I could make the 7 wonders wonder. Oh, I haven't even started yet. You don't think I could? You want to bet?
Oh, me. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Beah Richards. Miss Beah Richards is not only a distinguished actress, but she's now a playwright. I remember her very well in Almond Corner by James Baldwin. And she was also the Sidney Poitier's mother in the landmark movie Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. Miss Richards?
Yes.
Welcome to Innervisions.
Thank you.
Why are you changing, not changing, I guess, from being a distinguished actress to a playwright? It's not really changing, but I guess it's just going to another role, I guess.
Well, it really isn't changing, nor is it going into another role. The plays and the poems are all 20 years old. So it isn't something that I've just done. It's something I did long ago. It is only now that history is catching up with me.
When you say history is catching up with you, what do you mean?
Well, I mean there's an awful lot of blood under the bridge. Martin Luther, Malcolm, Emmett Till, any number of people who've bought the time we now have.
And this caused you to write Black Woman Speaks?
Yes, the circumstances of my life as a citizen of Mississippi is enough to make anybody write. Because, you know, there isn't as much of the truth as you'd like to see about yourself in any literature, you know, about black people. It's so rare. And I think there's a book in everybody who survived slavery, or whose ancestors survived it, undertook it.
Let me just take that from there, what you were talking about in Mississippi. What got you from Mississippi into receiving an Academy Award nomination for Guess Who's Coming to Dinner and doing fantastic roles? What was the push there? What was the thread?
Oh, the thread was, of course, my family and the members of my father's church, who always told me I was going to do all sorts of things, and so I just did them, not knowing that I wasn't supposed to, you know.
So obviously father was a minister.
Oh, yes, obviously.
A good part of you, the church, you feel that?
Oh, heavens, no. Good heavens, no. Let me see. The theater, I think, is my church, and I think it was the forerunner of the church as it is now known. I think the theater is going to have to take over again, because obviously the church hasn't done it, has it?
I won't give my
that.
grandfather was a minister. I won't say anything on that. But in some of the roles, and you talk about in Black Woman Speak, the theater of life, what kinds of things do you try to put into some of your roles? Is it you and the things that you've done from Hawaii Five-0 to In the Heat of the Night when you played the conjure woman, the hoodoo woman?
Well, I think what we really are striving for is an adequate expression of the truth about people, to communicate the strengths and the weaknesses of people. They are both strong and they are weak. And I don't think that anyone is really insisting that we should be all good or all bad. Perhaps we are a little bit of both. And I think the role that permits us to be a little bit of both is most accurate.
Is that most accurate of you and a little bit of both? And
I would think so. I strive to make
now,
it.
In your book, A Black Woman Speaks, which is a very powerful thing, and we'll be seeing your performance from it a little bit later on, is that you say Black Woman Speaks. Why did you put it The Black Woman Speak instead of Black Person Speaks?
The Black Woman Speaks because we just have been about the lowest one on the totem pole here. The black people have been a carry-all, you know. And the woman, most of all, because so much was heaped on the shoulders of the woman, you know. she was excluded from the usual image of womanhood, and so it's a terrible burden to bear.
When you say she was excluded from the usual image of
well, the usual
womanhood.
image of womanhood is, I think, maybe to paraphrase, something that everybody should remember. Would you want your daughter to marry one of them? That's the burden that the black woman carries, you see.
And you mentioned in one of the things that you'll be doing later on about, you're talking to white women and white supremacy about the things that black women had to go through and have to go through. Explain a little bit of that.
Well, I really think that dues has been paid. I think it would be historically a mistake to think we're in the same place that our brothers and sisters were even 20 years ago. That dues has been paid. It is now we stand at a position of responsibility where we must assert the rights that have already been won.
Now, when you say assert rights, what do you mean?
Assert.
What do you mean by that?
Say, I am a citizen, and everything that goes with that belongs to me, and demand. Muhammad Ali is telling you a little bit of the same thing.
Of demanding.
Yeah.
Now,
he's saying just assert it, you know. There's no argument, is there anymore?
No.
Uh-huh. So who's arguing? Since you don't have an argument, start doing, I suppose.
Now, is this when you were, not only the experience of Mississippi and so forth, is this the...
Oh, don't make Mississippi so exceptional. It was true all over this country. Witness Boston these days, man. What are you talking about?
No, I'm saying your experience. I'm not separating. I'm not separating any of the others. What I was saying is of your experience in Mississippi and coming out this way and Broadway and so forth, is this your form of assertion? A black woman speaks.
Definitely. Definitely.
What do you want, say, a young man or a young woman who reads Black Woman Speak? What do you want them to get from it?
Whatever they can. I couldn't possibly control that. I can only say it. If it finds a response in a listener, I'm very, very happy.